Hi there, Michael from Break a Pencil here. Every tutorial you've seen about using AI for data analysis shows you the same thing. Upload a CSV, ask what's interesting, get a chart, and it works, kinda. You get surface level observations that sound smart, but they don't really help you make decisions. I ran into this myself this week. I had two data sets that I needed to analyze. One I'd never seen before, and another one that I know really, really well. I realized as I was going through this that I was approaching them very, very differently. Not because of the data, but because of what I already knew walking in. And that's when the idea struck me. Most people treat data analysis with AI as if it's one skill set. It's not. There are many different modes of using AI for data analysis, at least two, and many more beyond that. But if you use the wrong one, you'll often get suboptimal results, maybe even junk. So the two modes that I'm going to explore today, or I'm going to go through today, are exploration mode, when you don't know what questions to ask, you need AI to help you discover what's interesting in this data set. This is how you would approach new data, let's say when you're first starting a new job. And the second is interrogation mode. You've got hypotheses because you've been living with this data for some time. You need AI to confirm or challenge or quantify what you already suspect. This is like a Tuesday when you're reviewing dashboards that you've been reviewing every Tuesday for a number of weeks. There's other modes as well, as I mentioned, pattern matching across multiple data sets, anomaly detection, forecasting. But today I'm going to just go deep on these two because I feel like they're the ones that most people conflate. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to analyze two real data sets live, and you're going to see how the prompting, the sequencing, and the thinking are completely different. Let's start with exploration mode. This is real surface request data from the city of Seattle, their version of what many regions call 311 calls. I've never analyzed this data set before. I genuinely don't know what's in it. The only thing I did is I requested only a few months of data, just so that it wasn't the full 2.3 million rows in the data set. We've got about 110,000 rows in this data set already. So there's a lot in here. Watch how I approach this data set that I don't know about differently than if it were my own product data. So I'm going to grab the data set and drop it into the chat. I'm uploading a CSV of Seattle's 311 service requests. I've never seen this data before. Before any analysis, give me a characterization. What fields are here? What's the date range? How many records are there? And what are the main categories? Are there any obvious data quality issues? I want to understand what I'm looking at before I ask any questions. Okay. Before I go into this, I want to point out that my first prompt here, and if you're in exploration mode, your first prompt should never be to ask for insights. That's too soon. You want to ask for orientation. Give me a lay of the land first. So we've got 104,000 service requests covering September to December, a full Q4. So this is all really, really good. Gives me a lot of information here. Good. Based on this characterization, what are the three most interesting questions this data set could answer? For each question, explain why it would be interesting and what patterns might emerge. Don't answer the questions yet. Just identify them, please. So notice, even before I'm asking AI for answers, I'm asking AI to generate questions. In exploration mode, it's really the questions that are more valuable than the answers because I don't know enough yet about this data to ask good questions. Are encampment and dumping reports concentrated in specific neighborhoods? How does resolution time vary by request type? Okay, great. Let's pursue number 3. Show me the analysis with a visualization, and then tell me what follow-up question does this raise. Notice that exploration is iterative. Each answer generates the next question. Okay, great. So showing me a great visualization, a dominant pattern, the overall types. So this is great. So again, I'm not going to go into this. It's not the analysis that I'm trying to convey. It's the approach to an analysis of a data set that I've never seen before and I'm looking at for the very first time. Now, watch how different this looks when I already know the data. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you two additional data sets. These are the two different mailing lists that I manage. One is through my Maven course, and the other is through my every other week newsletter, Broken Pencils, that is managed through a platform called Beehive. I know this data. I've got hunches. I've been building and managing these lists for some time now. So let's look at it. I'm uploading two subscriber lists, one from my course platform on Maven, and the other from my newsletter that is managed on an email platform called Beehive. Here's what I believe, but I haven't verified. 1, there's significant overlap between the two lists. 2, my Lightning Lessons signups are the dominant acquisition channel for both lists. 3, I have a meaningful segment on one platform who've never crossed over to the other. Analyze the overlap between these lists and tell me which of my hypotheses are correct, which are wrong, and what am I missing. So notice the prompt structure is totally different. I'm not asking AI to explore and report back on what it's got and what are we working with. I'm giving it my mental model and asking it to validate or break it. I bring the domain knowledge that AI doesn't have to this scenario. So very, very different in terms of how I'm approaching and how I'm using AI to understand the data. Okay, so it's giving me some results of these hypotheses. Excellent. And some statistics. Great. What I'm missing? Given this overlap analysis, here's my business question. I send content through both channels. Is there a segment I'm underreaching? Where's the biggest gap between audience and engagement? So notice that I'm moving from validation to so what much faster because again, I'm already bringing the context. I already understand this data pretty well. One last prompt I can do. This is kind of an advanced mode, but I think it's worth showing. What's the most important thing about my audience composition that I might be overlooking or misinterpreting? Push back on my assumptions. Right? So this is now using interrogation mode to find my own blind spots, having AI help me find my blind spots. Okay, great. Here's what I want you to take away from today's demo. The quality of your data analysis with AI is not about the prompts. It's about whether you correctly identify which mode you're in before you start. People who treat exploration like interrogation get shallow answers. They jump to conclusions about data that they don't understand just yet. People who treat interrogation like exploration waste time rediscovering what they already know. The AI doesn't know which mode you're in. You do. That's the human judgment that doesn't go away. So next time you sit down to analyze data with AI, pause for 10 seconds and ask yourself one question. Am I exploring this data or am I interrogating it? And then prompt accordingly. That one question will change everything about the quality of what you get back. If you like this, please subscribe down below. And as always, break a pencil.